Welcome to The Explainer! I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today. Today we're doing something really fascinating. We're taking a magnifying glass to one single, chaotic day on the internet, just to see exactly what captured human attention in July 2026. Think of it like a digital time capsule. We're looking at a pure, completely unfiltered snapshot of what millions of people were reading, debating, and sharing at a very specific moment in time.
Okay, let's dive into this, because to truly understand the modern zeitgeist, you can't just look at one news category. You have to look at the collision. What actually happens when massive macroeconomic shifts, unbelievable neighborhood drama, and wild historical oddities all share the exact same digital space? Well, we're going to explore this through a thematic snapshot of Reddit's front pages and update threads from July 2026. It's a bit of a roller coaster, so buckle up.
Section 1. The Tech and AI Reckoning. Billions spent, thousands fired.
Now, what's really interesting here is that if there was one major theme completely dominating the feeds on this particular day, it was the massive, almost incomprehensible macroeconomic shifts happening in the tech world. And all of it was driven by the relentless pursuit of artificial intelligence. Just look at the sheer scale of the financial contradiction happening all at once. On one hand, you have the hyperscalers, Google, Meta, Microsoft, Amazon, committing humongous, totally unprecedented amounts of money to AI capital expenditures. We're talking billions upon billions. But at the exact same time, Google is reporting negative cash flow for the first time in its history because of this spending. And Tesla's stock is in a total freefall following a disastrous earnings report. I mean, it is a moment of extreme volatility.
And while some companies are out there spending billions to build the future, others are facing some immediate, really harsh realities. Take Oracle, for example. Their massive AI bet seemingly went awry, resulting in a staggering 21,000 employees being fired. 21,000 people. It's a stark reminder that in this race for technological supremacy, the human cost, and honestly, the margin for error, are incredibly high.
This utter confusion was perfectly captured in a viral rant over on the Wall Street's Bets forum. A user posted this, quote, "A rational person would ask, are these amazing businessmen suddenly all very wrong about the same thing at the same time? Or, I am reading too much paid subs from Burry. Are you smarter than a Mag 7 CEO?" End quote. It brilliantly highlights the profound skepticism of the retail investor. Everyone is watching these companies spend absolute fortunes and wondering, is this the greatest investment in history or just a massive bubble about to burst?
And rounding out our tech snapshot is just a wonderful piece of internet irony. Famous environmentalist Aaron Brockovich launched a new digital map designed to track the locations of these massive new AI data centers. Well, the intense public interest was so high that the map itself actually crashed twice within just 72 hours of launching. Literally, the technology built to track the technology couldn't handle the traffic. You can't make that up.
Section 2. Wild Reddit Drama Unfolds. The Absurdity of r/best of Redditor Updates.
We are leaving the high-stakes world of AI finance and transitioning to the distinctly human side of the internet. Get ready for some rapid scrolling, because this is what people were frantically searching for updates on. A pizza delivery guy who somehow foiled a kidnapping by peeing on the attacker. A person who literally bit their coworker. Yes, literally. A tragic saga of a kid who was promised a car for sticking with piano lessons, a story officially marked as unrecoverable by the archives, by the way, and a mother who disastrously tried to force her daughter to reconcile with a dangerously obsessed ex. The sheer absurdity and specificity of internet culture is just on full display here.
And this brilliantly illustrates the kind of relatable chaos people simply can't look away from. This highly requested update involved a man whose crazy neighbor just started coming over to his house to use his washing machine. She absolutely wouldn't leave him alone, driving both him and her own husband entirely crazy. It is the ultimate bad neighbor nightmare turned into public entertainment.
But, it's not all just quirky neighbors. The internet also highlights the really dark extremes of human behavior. One of the most sought-after updates was an incredibly toxic story about a sister who faked a suicide attempt for the sole purpose of stealing attention away from her sibling. It actually culminated in her getting herself locked in an inpatient psychiatric program that she legally couldn't leave. It's a sobering look at the depths of personal drama playing out online.
Section 3. Science and Political News. A neutral look at the real world.
Let's slow the pace down just a bit. Over on the science front, the futurism boards were buzzing about a major breakthrough. Researchers were testing a new life extension treatment, dubbed the supermodel granny drug, that was successfully extending the lifespans of animals. It's an amazing glimpse into a future where human aging might actually be treated as a curable condition.
Meanwhile, in the political sphere, the feed was just a complete mashup of unrelated national events. West Virginia public schools made headlines by officially banning religious exemptions for vaccines. Former President Trump was reportedly attempting to change the terms of a Saudi nuclear deal after it had already been signed. J.D. Vance booted a Secret Service agent following a media leak regarding his so-called diva demands, and in campaign news, Jon Ossoff was leading Doug Collins in the Georgia Senate race. It's a fascinating look at the incredibly diverse, completely unrelated array of headlines users were consuming all at once.
Specifically regarding that Georgia Senate race, the polling data pushed to the front page showed Ossoff with a commanding lead over Collins by exactly 9 points, just a significant data point capturing political momentum at that specific moment in July.
And finally, in what can only be described as an incredibly unfortunate juxtaposition of political news, the feed highlighted a rough patch for Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s campaign. He was reportedly dealing with a salmonella egg recall outbreak, which was occurring concurrently with headlines regarding explosive diarrhea. Again, we're just neutrally reporting the headlines exactly as they populated the front page, proving that sometimes reality really is stranger than fiction.
Section 4. Bizarre History and Wholesome Moments. The Human Element.
Let's move to and see how this builds, because after all the heavy tech layoffs, wild drama, and political news, people actively seek out things to break up the doom scrolling. For instance, look at the fascinating history people were learning that day. The Today I Learned boards surfaced an unbelievable 1976 fight between boxing legend Muhammad Ali and wrestler Antonio Inoki. Because of bizarre rules banning the wrestler from grappling, Inoki spent 15 entire rounds lying flat on his back, kicking Ali in the legs 107 times. Ali landed just 2 punches. The result? A draw, and Ali suffered blood clots so severe that doctors seriously debated amputating his leg. Incredible history just popping up on a random Tuesday.
Over on the uplifting news boards, users were celebrating artistic integrity. Musician Weird Al Yankovic made waves when it was revealed he turned down a massive $1 million offer to perform in Saudi Arabia. His simple, highly upvoted reasoning, "I don't need to take any money if it makes me feel icky." It resonated deeply with an audience looking for principled stances in a highly commercialized world.
So the crucial point is that amidst all the noise, the AI hype, the layoffs, and the political bickering, humanity still cuts through. One of the most upvoted posts across the entire platform that day was a profoundly emotional story of a mother who made the heart-wrenching decision to let her young son believe he had beaten cancer, ensuring his final moments on Earth were filled with absolute peace and victory rather than fear. It's a powerful, sobering reminder of our shared human element.
Which brings us to the end of our snapshot and leaves us with a pretty provocative question. What does this chaotic digital day actually tell us about our society? When high-stakes AI finance, incredibly touching human sacrifices, absurd pizza delivery heroics, and petty neighborhood laundry disputes all hold our attention equally, what does that mean? Perhaps it perfectly captures the complex, messy, and beautiful reality of the modern human experience. We are capable of building world-altering technology, yet we still just want our neighbor to stay out of our laundry room. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I hope this snapshot gave you a unique lens into our digital world. Until next time, keep exploring.